Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. It's Arnell Breyer. Today we're going to be doing something a little bit different. We're going to be doing an animation tutorial for FireAlpaca because somebody requested that I do one, and that's something that I for sure know how to do because I animate on FireAlpaca usually. So I figured while I'm doing that, I might as well just make an official tutorial, upload it to my channel, and that way multiple people can learn how to do it if they don't know how to already. And this is going to be a very simple tutorial, so if you want to learn more complex things, how I do things like more complex animations on FireAlpaca, or even just like drawing and digital painting tutorials, I can do those as well. Just put your suggestions in the comments and I will look through those. Obviously, if people are requesting one specific thing a lot, then I will probably do a video on that sooner than later. And we will just see where that goes. So for this one, I'm just going to be animating a ball bouncing just so you can get the idea for how you would get like onion skin stuff in FireAlpaca so you can animate more complex things, but I'll just be animating something simple so you can see all the tools that you have to work with. So I've opened up this canvas. It's 1920 by 1080 or something like that. It's basically the size of a video on YouTube. Like that screen size, it's what I usually use to animate. Like I don't usually animate on a smaller screen than that, so I like to work on a canvas that is that big. So what you want to do is, if you fill in the back screen, you're not going to be able to see any onion skin layers. So I like to leave it blank. Later on I can add a background and I'll show you how you can make that appear on every single layer. But for now we're just going to be working on a transparent screen. You're going to want to go to View, and if you go down, I don't know if you can see this on my screen because sometimes the menus don't go up, but underneath the View menu, if you go all the way down to the bottom, the menu's kind of split up into sections. The final section, the top option says Onion Skin Mode. You're going to want to click on that. And then once you have that clicked on, if you go back into View and you go to that last little section, it says that onion skin mode is on. It also says display the next/previous frame, and that is on. And that is your onion skin. So the frame in front of the one that you're working on is going to come in as a green color, and the one underneath what you're working on is going to come in as a red color. That's what you want so you can see how to do your in-betweens correctly. Now, the option under that is always display the first frame. Now this is if you have a background and you want to see it on every single frame. This will take whatever your first frame is and make it appear on every single other frame. I'm not going to use that today, but just if you wanted to use that, that is an option. I just want you to know that that is there. And then under that it says autoplay. You're going to click that when you're done with your animation, or you're just looking through it to see if the frames are correct, and that will just pull up a little window and it will run through your animation right on screen, and you don't have to like compile it or anything, and you don't have to make it into a GIF at that point. So first what you're going to want to do is on layer 1, this is going to just be a ball bouncing animation, so I'm going to start with a circle. And that is a horrible circle. Maybe I should draw it a little bit faster. Okay, we're gonna just say that that's a good circle. Pretend that that is a perfect circle, because it's definitely not. I'm not going for perfection. I'm just trying to show you how this works. Usually I spend a lot more time on my drawings than that, but okay. Then you're gonna want to add another layer. So as you can see, the first layer has turned into a red line. If you click back on the first layer, it turns back to black. But as soon as you click off of it, that turns to red. Now, you're going to want to draw the next frame, and as you can see, that layer, the layer that you're on, comes in black, the other one stays red. If you added a frame in between these, you would see that the frame that I'm working on, nothing is on there because nothing is black. The one underneath it is red, and then the one above it comes in as green when I'm on this layer. So if I draw something in here, it comes in black, that's the layer I'm on, and then the one above it is green, the one below it is red. Now I don't think I need that layer. So I'm just going to move on to layer 3 and kind of just make the ball start to stretch a little bit. I don't know if you guys know the basics of animation, but if something is falling, it stretches. And then when it hits the ground, it kind of squashes a little bit. And then when it comes back up, it starts to stretch again. When it gets towards the top, the frames start to get closer together. And then as the ball starts to fall, they will get stretched more until they hit the ground and they squash and then they stretch again. And I'm doing this extremely quickly. I have no idea how this is going to look. Okay, and then you're going to want to go to View once you're done, or if you even just have a few frames and you just want to see how they look, keyframes or otherwise, you're going to go to View, and then you're going to go down to the bottom, and 3 options up from the bottom is Autoplay, and that will show you your animation. Now, I don't know if you can see this on my screen or not, but if you can't, I'm just going to say that in the bottom left-hand corner of this little box menu thing, you can see that there's different frames per second option. So if you want your animation to move faster, you can choose something that's 12 frames per second or 24 frames per second. The highest you can go is 30 frames per second, and the lowest you can go is 2 frames per second. I usually work at 12 frames per second. Occasionally I work at 24. That's if I have a really fast motion or someone is talking really fast or something. But otherwise I like to go on 2s, which is 12 frames per second. And yeah, then what I do from here is you can either go to File, Export Layers, Onion Skin Mode, and save all of your images all at once in a folder. And then after you do that, it will give you the option to make it into a GIF or GIF or GIF or however you want to say that. I don't even know anymore what people call that, but whatever. And that will take you to the FireAlpaca website. You'll upload the images to their little file thing, and it will compile them for you and make it into a GIF. Now, you can also save them individually, which I do not recommend, or you can do what I do, which is save them as an onion skin mode, and instead of making it into a GIF, I put it into Moho, which is my animation software. You can't really draw on it that well, which is why I draw everything in FireAlpaca, but you can space frames out, like it has a timeline, which is good. And so I use that for like spacing and stuff, and with that I don't have to go a consistent 12 frames per second or 24 frames per second. I can go at whatever speed I want, which I like. So that, I think, is all that I have for a simple animation tutorial. If I miss something, I apologize. I will clarify if you need me to. Just put your question in the comments. As I said earlier, if you want more tutorial videos, I will try to make them a little bit better than this one once I figure out what menus show up on my screen capture and what don't, because I know that some of them don't, and I don't know which ones. Like stabilizer, I know doesn't. And just put your suggestions in the comments if you want to see more tutorials from me, and I will look through them and get back to you as soon as possible as far as making them. And yeah, so there you go. I hope you all have fun animating in FireAlpaca if you just learned how to do that. I hope this was simple enough to understand. I don't know how good I am at explaining things, but that's all I got for you. So I hope you all have a fantabulous day, and I hope to see you in the next video. Bye!